Right, a very good afternoon to you from the sports desk. Needless to say, rock climbing is not the first code you might think of when it comes to alternative sports, but it is something that Tiffany Wells excels in. The Cape Town-based climber is currently in the United States to continue pursuing her passion. She joins us now via Zoom for a quick chat. Tiffany, thank you so much for your time. I know we have a huge time difference. If you can just briefly explain what climbing is to our viewers. I think to them it might seem like a recreational activity and not an actual sport.
So often climbing is pictured as what you see on the mountains, like climbing up Table Mountain, that sort of thing. But then there's a whole nother sport side to it, which is on artificial walls. So there's three different disciplines, bouldering, speed, and lead. And you compete on artificial walls. And we host a number of World Cups all over the world, and it's now even in the Olympics.
So very quickly, I want to ask you two questions in one. I mean, you're 30 years old now, so I'm quite interested to know when exactly you started climbing and also how old the children need to be. So what's the youngest child that's permitted to climb? My other question is then in terms of the Western Cape, because you were coaching a team in the Western Cape. If you could tell us about that as well.
So I am 30 at the moment. I started climbing when I was 15, but that's actually quite late to start climbing, especially competitively. You can start climbing at any age. As soon as you can start to walk, you can start to climb, especially in indoor climbing gyms and how accessible they are nowadays. In South Africa, our competitive climbers start at the age of 9 to under 9. So you can be 7, 8, 9 years old. But you're only really permitted to climb in a World Cup, in national events, etc., from the age of under 15 and up. So the kids that I'm with now in Dallas are all between the ages of 14 and 19. And that is the Youth World Cup circuit. And that's generally the age that I coach. The youngest member of my coaching team is actually 9. But from a high performance perspective, we look from 15 years old and upwards.
So talking about the team that you are with now in Dallas, first of all, big congratulations for being chosen to be the head coach of that team. You are the head coach representing the junior South Africa team in Dallas. Can you tell us a bit about what exactly that tournament is about and what other countries we can expect to see there and how it is that you got chosen as the head coach?
So we have countries from all around the world that are going to be in Dallas this month. The competition runs from about the 22nd of August to the 29th of August. We start off with some qualifying rounds for each of those disciplines I mentioned earlier. And the top 20 athletes from each of those disciplines goes through to a semi-final and then eventually a final, which is only the top 6 athletes. So that is how the tournament runs. And as far as it goes, being chosen for head coach is such a cool opportunity. I climbed in Austria in Imst in the first South African youth team back in 2011. And it was a great experience. And subsequently, I've found myself managing a climbing gym. I'm a head setter at a climbing gym, and I coach youth teams. I've started a high-performance program in the Western Cape for these kids, and that has led me to applying for the role as head coach for the youth national team. And I'm hoping to see some growth in that area, to see some longevity in the coaches that often change over every year. It'll be nice to have someone more consistent on the team that can keep the growth going in the sport in the country.
Firstly, congratulations also on starting the high performance. I'm being told we're running out of time, but very quickly before we go, the team that you coach, not only the team that you coached in the Western Cape, but also the team that you now are with in Dallas, representing South Africa. How does it work when it comes to climbing? Is it a mixed team, as in it's made of both sexes, they are male and female, or are you only coaching, is it just a full female team? How does that work?
So it's male and female teams. So we have under 15 male and females, under 17 male and female, and under 19 male and female. Yeah, so we have a total of 15 athletes with us for the trip. We're only here with a small amount at the moment, and the others will join us on the 18th.
Tiffany, are the teams mixed, as in we have male and female playing in the same team, or is it also separate, like with other sporting codes?
So it is separate.
Okay.
You do compete in your own gender.
Tiffany, we have run out of time, but thank you so much for your time. I know it is very early in the morning where you are at the moment, so I think you're possibly about to have some coffee and breakfast. Thank you so much for your time, and all the best to you and the junior South Africa climbing team that's going to be representing us, and hopefully we'll catch up with you when that tournament is over.